one of the biggest matchups in all of NBA history. 6'6" shooting guard out of the University of North Carolina versus 6'6" shooting guard out of Lower Merion High School. Also known as one of the biggest comparisons in NBA history. Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant. The teacher versus student. Old school versus new. NBA wasn't ready for the impact these two players were about to have, along with the legacy they left. The debate goes on forever. Who was the better player? Was it Jordan because of what he did for the Bulls and did what they thought was nearly impossible and got the 6th ring? Or was it Kobe, who dropped 81 points in a single game and hit clutch shot after clutch shot, becoming the most feared player the NBA has ever seen? The league may never see two players of this caliber ever again. So who's the best? In order to answer, we must start from the beginning. Kobe Bryant attended his first year at Lower Merion in 1992. As a freshman, he was selected to be on the varsity basketball team. Although the team was just mediocre his first year, the following 3 years were spectacular, where he was able to lead his team to a 77-13 record. In his junior year, he averaged 31.1 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 5.2 assists, and was named the Pennsylvania Player of the Year. Kobe led Lower Merion to their first state championship in 33 years. During the stretch of games, he averaged 30.8 points, 12 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 4 steals, and 3.8 blocked shots, in leading the Aces to a 31-3 record. He ended his career as Eastern Pennsylvania's all-time leading scorer at 2,883 points, surpassing both Wilt Chamberlain and Lionel Simmons. Bryant received several awards for his performance in his senior year, including being named Naismith's High School Player of the Year, Gatorade's Men's National Basketball Player of the Year, a McDonald's All-American, and a US Today All-USA First Team Player. Bryant's varsity coach, Greg Downer, commented that Bryant was a complete player who dominates. The number 33 is now retired at Lower Merion High School in honor for the great achievements Bryant was able to accomplish. After his senior year, he decided he would enter straight into the NBA draft in 1996. Bryant is among one of the few prospects to be drafted out of high school. He was then drafted to the Charlotte Hornets. Unlike Kobe, after high school, Michael Jordan went on to play college basketball at the University of North Carolina. He attended his freshman year in 1981, where he averaged 4.4 rebounds per game, 1.8 assists, 1.2 steals, and 13.5 points on a shooting percentage of .534. As a freshman, he scored the game-winning jump shot in the 1982 NCAA championship game against the Georgetown Hoyas with a final score of 63-62. This was the first mark left by the living legend. Following a championship in his first year in college, he followed it up with being named the NCAA College Player of the Year for 2 consecutive years. In his 3 years at UNC, he rallied up a total of 1,788 points, 509 rebounds, and 181 assists. On top of all those achievements, Michael was invited to play on the USA Olympic basketball team before even entering the league in the summer of 1984. Jordan went on to lead the team to an 8-0 record to snatch up a gold medal. After these 8 games, Michael Jordan's stats were as follows: 17.1 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, a total of 16 assists, 12 steals, and 7 blocks, which made a huge contribution to the USA's gold medal victory.
Michael Jordan and Isaiah just finished slapping hands. We'll see how cordial the rest of the game is between the two. It's the Pistons and the Bulls. Vincent goes to Lambeer. He's not afraid to shoot, but he's 0 for 3 so far tonight. Woolridge knocks the miss to Jordan. 4-2 Chicago. Michael Jordan down the lane, double clutches in midair and drops it in.
There's a steal.
And Chicago will get another. Jordan steps in front, steals, lays it in, Bulls by 4. To John Long, Jordan with another steal. He'll drive, he'll dunk.
Kind of waited for Isaiah to tease him a little bit.
Michael Jordan on the wing on John Long. Little screen from Woolridge now. Campbell's out on him. Woolridge will go to work on John. Too tall for him. Power move. Got it in close. Now we're down to 8 on the clock, 12 on the quarter clock. Starts to accelerate. Spins at the foul line. Into the paint. Dishes off. Oldham jam.
Tell you what. Broke the defense down just on outstanding individual talent. Michael Jordan.
Jordan in the lane. Up and in for the Bulls. Amen. Michael Jordan against Isaiah to the lane. Up and in. stopped and popped from 10. It was perfect, 48-41. Bounce baseline, Lambier sends it, spins out again. Michael Jordan rebounds. At least that one wasn't anywhere near a brick. Jordan all the way to the hole, worms his way up, gets fouled, gets it down.
He is tough. Jordan brings it in the forecourt.
I do apologize for the audio technical problems. Hope it's cleared up by now. Pistons and Bulls don't need to apologize for the ball game, especially Chicago's Michael Jordan. He just put it up there, ran to the hole and threw it in. Isaiah winds his way to the hole. Little weak on the shot. Rebound tapped out to Jordan. Way ahead for Woolridge. The hole jams on John Long.
From behind the arc, Kobe pots it. First professional bucket to triple, Lakers by 10. Midway would not return. Late in the fourth quarter, more from the kid, Mr. Bryant. Gets the pass from Jerome Kersey and thank you very much.
Gone, we don't know how long. Lakers up 6. Sean Rooks inside to Bryant, who looks like a vet. Look at how he goes with the turnaround J. And then asks for the foul. Little shouting for showtime for Kobe. He takes it all away. This Jerome Kersey outlet, the jam, 90-80 Lakers. Bryant had 10.
On display, Kobe Bryant, right out of high school, bucket. Lakers up.
The rookie getting off a little bit. LA up 24 there, and then KB Kobe. Look at Kobe Bryant go to the hole with a touch of authority, looking a little bit like Michael.
Kobe and his parents waited anxiously for the youngster's NBA debut.
It's exciting for me to go out there and play my first game. You know, I had a lot of jitters when I first got in there, but I think I did okay.
And finally, it happened. Little over 4 minutes into the second quarter. Kobe Bryant. And it didn't take long for Kobe to make his presence felt. His first touch, Kobe drives by 2 Mavs and dishes to Sean Rooks for the jam. 5 minutes later, Bryant gets the pass from Eddie Jones, and he buries the 3 for his first NBA points. Kobe's numbers, 10 points on 4 of 4 shooting and 2 assists.
The shot, the biggest play in Michael Jordan's career, and possibly one of the most iconic moments in NBA history against the Cleveland Cavaliers on May 7, 1989. Jordan caught the ball off the inbound, pulled up at the foul line, and hit the jumper over Craig Elo. After this shot, it was known as the greatest series in NBA history. Another huge play of Jordan's career was in Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals, where the Chicago Bulls played against the Utah Jazz. It starts out, Jordan takes the ball up the court, he dribbles around for a bit, he puts his head down and puts the ball in his right hand, slashes from the three-point line, takes a few steps, pulls up at the free throw line again. The defender didn't even have a chance. Jordan pulled the jumper and nailed it. Jordan now has 2 clutch mid-range jumpers in his career to carry his team to a victory for that game and also a series. Not only did this shot solidify his spot for being the greatest player of his time, but proved he could do it all. He won 3 championships, then retired for 2 years, then came back to Chicago and won 3 more without losing a final series in his career. Another top 5 moment of Jordan's career was a top 5 moment in NBA history, the dunk contest where he took off from the free throw line. This changed the league forever. It revolutionized dunks. The Jordan Jumpman is the biggest basketball symbol off the court. Jordan's 6 rings with 6 Finals MVPs and 5 league MVPs to go along with his Rookie of the Year selection, 10-time scoring champ, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, 14-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star MVP, 11-time All-NBA team, 9-time All-Defensive selection, and 2-time dunk contest champ prove a big point showing how he is the best ever. Accomplishments that Jordan had that deserve to be talked about more than some of his Hall of Fame set-in-stone achievements are his flu game, buzzer beaters, his warrior mentality, hustle plays, and the countless highlight plays, or his ability just to get straight to the hoop. The flu game was one of the most important games of his career. Although Jordan was not supposed to play in Game 5 of the 1997 Finals, he was diagnosed with the flu. He came out, suited up, and played anyway. He scored a game-high 38 points while under the weather. This helped the Bulls get a 3-2 series lead over the Utah Jazz, which eventually led to a 4-2 series victory. For every player, he plays left off the record books that really define the player and his legacy. Not every double team or trap or broken ankle will make a highlight tape or be talked about by commentators, but these are the plays that define an NBA player. Because of Jordan, the number 23 will always be remembered in the sport of basketball. Kobe Bryant, also known as the Black Mamba, or the new era Jordan, came into the league and did far more than he was expected. Kobe is known for his patented post-up, fake one-side, fadeaway jumper to the other side. He's considered the best scorer to ever play the game because he did what nobody thought was possible and scored 81 points in a single game in regulation. Kobe hit game winner after game winner for 20 years in the league. Although Kobe had Shaq for the first couple years he was in the league, Kobe Bryant made a name for himself with a supporting cast that constantly changed year after year. Besides his point guard from the start, who was Derek Fisher, and halfway through Kobe's career, he was assisted by the power forward Pau Gasol. Something people can say when Kobe Bryant won 2 of his championships out of the 5 was he did it on his own. Kobe ended up with 5 NBA championships, 2 finals MVPs, regular season MVP, slam dunk champion, 2-time scoring champion, 15-time All-Star selection, 4-time All-Star MVP, 12-time All-Defensive Team, All-Rookie selection, and being the youngest player to score 33,000 points on top of the numerous NBA records that Kobe has. During his younger years, he wore number 8. Then he changed it to 24 after the 2005-2006 season. Players realized Kobe is the most feared player in the league after he established he had the assassin's mentality. He was the most unguardable player to ever play the game, and when he was in his prime, Kobe played Jordan in Jordan's era, made a name for himself, but after Jordan left the league, Kobe established himself as the first Kobe Bryant and not the next Michael Jordan. After Shaq left him, Kobe had to take over and make the team his. He became the focal point of the Los Angeles Lakers. Kobe did it by himself and never gave up on the court. He adapted to both eras of the game and dominated through both all 20 years of his career.
When you think about the great players who have played for you, you compare Michael and Kobe in the book. What are the things that are different about them?
Really the body. You know, Michael's a broad-shouldered, muscular guy who's, forceful, could pick the ball up and do, with just one hand and do something with it. Kobe is, more of a slithery player. He can get through gaps and everything else, and he steps through things, and he has a remarkable flexibility. Michael was 27 or 6 or something, maybe 27 when I started coaching the Bulls. Kobe is 21. I treated him more like a son. I treated, Michael more like a brother. He was formed, he had his game in hand. It was like, let's do this. With Kobe, it was more, I want you to do this. And during this period of time, Kobe and I got very close. And, our relationship became one where it was complementary. And I thought that I don't think I've ever been as close to a player as I've been to him as a coach-player relationship.
There was a time when I guess you would maybe bristle at the Michael comparison. Maybe it was just too much, too soon. The fact that just your name being mentioned in the same conversation it says you kind of got to where your career wanted to be.
Yeah, man, I wanted to come in the league and I wanted to win multiple championships. As a young kid, it's like, well, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to win, 5, 6, 7 championships because that's what Magic did, that's what Russell did, that's what Jordan did, And I feel very comfortable with my career and what I've been able to accomplish in that regard.
Michael's been someone you said have basically brought you under his wing, shared secrets of the game to you, if you will.
On Sunday.
The hype was me against him, and I know I wasn't 100%, and he was biting at the bits.
He looks and sounds so young. It is Way Back Wednesday on SportsCenter. Going to time warp to the day Michael Jordan sized up Kobe Bryant for the first time.
Looks like the old guy has a few good tricks left, huh?
A few. Me against him, and I know I wasn't 100%, and he was biting at the bits.
Oh, see, it was just like yesterday. Michael Jordan sizing up Kobe Bryant at his first All-Star game. We'll do the Way Back Wednesday time warp.
I just wanted to make sure that Kobe didn't dominate me.
Felt good. I thought I was going to be nervous. I thought I was going to be all shaky. But the ball went up and down the court a few times. I felt fine.
The hype was me against him, and I know I wasn't 100%, and he was biting at the bits. And, I was just hopeful and glad that I was able to fight him off.
It looks like the old guy has a few good tricks left, huh?
A few. A few. Mike is incredible. He's an incredible basketball player. He knows how to keep the defense off balance, and it's spectacular.
Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan have always been pretty similar, whether you compare their careers, stats, work ethic, or even their size. Sadly, they were never able to go against each other in the prime years of their career. Kobe came into the league when Jordan was in the last years of his prime. It was the end of his second three-peat. Jordan retired for the second time, which didn't really give him a chance to play against Kobe. Kobe was a bench player his rookie year, so he didn't go against Jordan that much. When Jordan came out of retirement the second time, Kobe was becoming known as one of the best players in the world and the player to replace Michael Jordan. He didn't want to be the next Jordan, though. He said, "I don't want to be the next Michael Jordan. I want to be Kobe Bryant." He was entering his prime while Jordan was too old and past his prime. These two would square off against each other 8 times in the regular season, 4 times when Jordan was on the Bulls and 4 times when he was on the Wizards. Kobe won 5 out of the 8 games in the regular season against Jordan and 2 out of 3 All-Star games. That doesn't make him the better player, though. Kobe won his games because he had the better team. He had a championship contender every single year he faced Michael Jordan. Jordan only had a contender when he was on the Bulls. When he was on the Wizards, their team wasn't even good enough to make the playoffs. These two would play against each other in 3 different All-Star games: the 1998 All-Star Game, 2002 All-Star Game, and 2003 All-Star Game. In these All-Star games, they would guard each other. First game, Jordan had the better game, though, where he scored more points, was the MVP, and got the win also. Kobe wouldn't let that happen again. Next time they squared off, Kobe did to Jordan what Jordan did to him. He scored more points, got the win, and was named MVP. The next year was the closest game, though, as Kobe would only outscore him by 2 points, and the game had to go into double overtime before Kobe would get another win. Jordan would actually have the better stats against Kobe. In his last game, Kobe scored 55 points on Michael Jordan, and Jordan only had 23. This was because Jordan was too old and he was still coming off the bench, and he had a lot of injuries to deal with that year. There was only one game where both players actually played pretty well. This happened in December of 1997. It was Kobe's second season, and Jordan was still at an elite level. Kobe would score 33 points in the game, and Jordan had 36 and the win. Even though Kobe scored most of his points near the end because it was a blowout, and Jordan scored most of his when Kobe was on the bench, this was still the best combined game out of these two. Jordan's worst game came in 2002, where he scored only 2 points in 12 minutes. Kobe's worst game actually happened twice. It was the first 2 times he played against MJ. He will only be able to score 5 points on him. Their stats are pretty similar against each other. Jordan averaged 25 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers. Kobe averaged 23 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers. Jordan, however, was at a disadvantage because Kobe was the better player. However, Jordan would still be able to put up some good numbers during his games because of his talent. In the beginning of their matchups, they did not guard each other because Kobe would come in when Jordan was on the bench, and it would be vice versa. Kobe scored most of his points in garbage time, which is the end of the game when a blowout is happening. Jordan would score most of his points on the starters. This allowed Kobe to watch Jordan play and learn all of his moves. When Kobe was young and living in Italy, his grandfather would send him gameplay of the NBA. He mostly watched Jordan's move because he knew Jordan was going to be the greatest and he wanted to mimic him. Jordan acknowledged this, and during one interview, he was asked whether or not he think any players in the current NBA could beat him. Jordan said, "I don't think I would lose other than to Kobe Bryant because he steals all my moves."
Out to Kobe. Off the dribble to the baseline. Slings it out to Rice, who hits the jumper plus the foul. Bryant hits over Jackson. Crozier crashing the offensive glass but couldn't control it. Glenn Rice. A 2-pointer just inside the line.
Now who's guarding him? How did they get switched on that? This is Glenn Rice now, who now has 7 points on 2 shots.
Kobe Bryant. That's his second basket. He's 2 for 5 now. Nice pass from Bryant to the cutting Fox. Perkins and McKee out. Smits and Dale Davis back in. Kobe Bryant with the jumper, and LA is now made.
And the Suns, 22. Bulls have hit their last 7 straight as Michael Jordan makes it 4 for 7 for 9 points. Bulls have led by as many as 7. Michael Jordan on target. He's 5 out of 8. 11 points. Chicago 29. Phoenix 25. Jordan, yes, and it counts.
Charles was so concerned about McRae coming down from the top that he lost sight of Stacey King from behind him.
Jordan with 15. The Bulls lead 35 to 30.
I think 3 consecutive 30-point games. Kobe reverse layup to score. Just getting going. Joe McDonald here in for Joel. 2 minutes alongside him. Kobe, another tough shot. Some of the rookies, of course, at this point hitting the wall halfway through the season as Kobe knocks it down. The other night, in fact, his worst shooting night in a month. Here's Kobe. Oh, sweet move. A little bit in Milwaukee, then down in Houston. He's one of those guys that everybody wants. 57 straight. Make it 58.
He's up to 58. 59 now.
59. It's a double-double just about every night. Kobe is back in and not a moment too soon. Devin George guns it to Mim. Little backdoor. Kobe scores on the slam. Knocks down the three with regularity. Kobe trying to answer back from two. Go to the side story when the Lakers are down by 14. That's what now, 61 in a row? Did I do it?
Yeah.
Is it my fault? The scoreboard says 60-49.
All of the Lakers have to get going offensively.
Kobe has been going, and he keeps it going with the backhand layup. Bryant again for the Lakers. Kobe baseline, got it again. Just yo-yoing the dribble and stops at the top of the key.
Well, they're giving him the ball to see if he can add to it.
Yes, he does. Still 6.5 to play in the third. He pulls up for a three. Yes! Kobe again. Here's Kobe trying to move around Mo Pete, trying to put him up. Finally shoots, counted in the foul.
Decides to go up with him, gets him on the arm.
Here's Kobe again. Yes, sir. Kobe all the way. Reverse layup is good. Knocked away by Kobe. Great hustle by Kobe. He's going to score. Slam dunk, Lakers lead. Oh, great pass. Kobe alone, slam dunk.
They're all geared for you, but he's
void of all the ground. Nobody helping right now defensively, so he only takes the 15-footer. Oh, Kobe counted foul. Kobe goes straight to the dribble in the lane, lay it up and in. His average tonight, you would think. His average is 6. Kobe with it now. Lakers lead 105-96. Another three. 4 away from Elgin Baylor's Laker record. For three again. Yes!
Well, there's 70.
Pump fake for two. Kobe's got the Laker record.
Oh, my goodness.
I see your point, though. Kobe down the middle, put up and in. Second, 27 in the third.
I see it.
Here's number 1. Do you believe it? This one would be to Ty Wilt for number 2, and the next one would be to pass. For the night, at least. Bryant for 80. This would be 18 for 20 from the line, and an 81-point game. 55 in the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
I feel like I'm the most fierce competitor there is. I don't think I'm ever going to find something to equal the game of basketball. Basketball is my love, always have been. I can't ever envision an ending of something like that until I'm dead and gone.
The Chicago Bulls pick Michael Jordan.
I've always felt that when it was all said and done, that Michael Jordan was the best player ever to play the game.
They talk about guys being competitors. He was the fiercest of all the competitors.
Whether it was a meaningless game in April or Game 6 of the NBA Finals, we just played so hard, all he wanted to do was win.
I knew, the announcers knew, everyone in the building knew, the team the Bulls were playing knew that at that moment, Michael was going to get the ball. And guess what? Michael got the ball.
Could set the bar at 7.5 feet and tell them nobody's ever jumped that before, and they say, I can do it.
Every night he stepped on the floor, he put on a cape. He can save anyone from anything.
North Carolina came to Cameron Indoor Stadium to play against Duke. During the game, Michael hit his head on the backboard. They had to stop the game. And when we broke the huddle, we kind of looked at each other going, do we have to go back out there? That guy just hit his head on the backboard.
We played a game called Chicken where we'd start out at the three-point line, go in and try to dunk on each other. And believe it or not, I actually dunked on Michael Jordan. He probably would deny that, but I did.
When I hear your name, I think of how much I detested you because we could never get over the top.
Right now, I would go out to him and just grab his neck and just...
As a fan of the bad boy Detroit Pistons, I was so elated when we eliminated the Bulls a couple of years, but when the Bulls finally got over the hump, I felt like I was in the line with Isaiah and Lambeer and the rest of the crew that walked off the floor and didn't shake the Bulls' hands.
Chicago going for their first world championship in the Jordan era, and he goes up, he elevates, he switches hands in the air. The most beautiful move that I had seen.
Michael Jordan became a symbol of both the Bulls and the league.
Michael Jordan showed that the name on the back of the jersey could be bigger than the name on the front.
My son is 3 years old, and if you ask him who wears number 23, he'll say Michael Jordan.
I chose number 23. One of the reasons was because of Michael Jordan.
He was the blueprint for how to make a lot of money as a personality and as a personal brand.
The other day, we were going through a walkthrough, and there was 15 guys in the room, and 13 of those 15 guys had on Jordans.
Playing against him for the first time at the United Center, and I got thrown into the fire. He made a nice baseline spin move on me. I knew it was coming. He was just so strong. By the time I tried to body him off of me, he just swatted me away like a fly.
I'm in his basement, and he have all this old footage on VHS. I'm watching the game. It's like 3 in the morning. He came down there like, yo, come on, we're going upstairs to the gym. He broke down how to score the basketball.
Well, let's talk Kobe. Shaq, what will his legacy be?
Number one, the greatest Laker player ever. It was amazing that he played one franchise for 20 years, did it his way, accomplished everything he set out to accomplish. Remember when he first come in, he said he wanted to be better than Michael Jordan. Like, young fella, hold up. But, passed him up in points, one championship less than what Mike has. But, to be the greatest Laker ever, I think that's an amazing accomplishment. They got Kareem, they got Wilt, they got Magic. So, I think him going out as the greatest Laker ever and going out the way he did, I think it's, a remarkable. Especially a guy that didn't go to college, came from high school.
Yeah.
And to accomplish all that coming from high school, not going to college, I think is great.
What will be your lasting memory, Kenny?
Whew, I think there's a lot. But, the guy who shot 3 air balls his second game, his second year in the playoffs, and then turns that into being one of the most clutch players in the history of the game.
Jordan, tongue it out, hit it, wow! As that tongue goes out, you know something's going to happen. Pippen gets it to Jordan. Michael